Hello everyone, today I am going to be sharing with you concerning getting into medical school. So this is going to be the first part of my medical school series, and it's going to be a several part series, but this is just where we're going to begin in this particular episode. There may be questions on what stage am I in when it concerns medical school. We know that when you're applying to medical school or when you research about medical school, there are different stages. Even though you're in medical school, you're still a student, and you really don't become a full-fledged doctor or physician until after you complete all of the requirements that's necessary in order for you to become a doctor. You are a student on the journey to becoming a doctor, so you don't want to be misleading to the public when it concerns whether you are a doctor or not. Now, if you're a student, let's say you're a student pursuing your degree to become a doctor, you're on the path to getting there, and all of that's good. It doesn't take away from who you are as a medical student. You're just on that journey to becoming a doctor. You put in the hard work, you got accepted into medical school. You know, that's just rewarding all in itself. And you're on your journey or on your way to becoming a doctor. So I just want to make some clarifications to the people that are out there, or individuals that are inquiring whether I am a full-fledged physician or yet or not. First, I want to talk about my journey. Currently, I am a third-year medical student at the International University of Health Sciences in the islands. I do believe that as an adult learner, and what I mean by adult learner is, you know, I'm not just fresh out of high school, you know, 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, or even 8 years. Currently, I've been out of high school for over 20 years. I graduated high school over 20 years ago. And the high school that I graduated from is Sumter High School. I really enjoyed, you know, that particular school, and for the individuals out there that can relate, go Gamecocks. But I want to share with you about, you know, the passion and when the desire started. And for me, it started when I was really young, and it really developed when I got to high school. And you know, how to become a physician, and during that time I wanted to be let's see, it started around the 9th grade. I wanted to be an orthopedic surgeon. So I would go to the library and I would check out books. I mean, fake books. I can't quite remember what the name of the book is, but you know, it was a book that lists careers from engineers to chemists, and then it got all the way to how to become a doctor and the types of doctors that there are. And that's another area that we're going to be talking about. There are different types of physicians. One physician doesn't do everything. There are different levels and different types and different specialties when it concerns the physician arena in the medical world. But I would check out this book, I would look at it, I would turn to the page where it says orthopedic surgeon. I was really fascinated with the bones, and learning and studying the bones, and what happens when bones break, and how do you fix them. And you know, and YouTube today is full of different videos that you can actually look at to see how these particular procedures happen and occur, you know, when the patient is in the hospital having to have a bone repair. And I would recommend looking at knee replacements. The bone isn't actually broken, but you know, the knee is actually being replaced because for certain individuals, the knees wear out over time, and they need to have them replaced. And you also can look at videos concerning, you know, videos concerning bone breaks and how they are actually fixed as well. Love you, baby. That's my beautiful wife. She's getting ready to head on to work. Say it again.
Yeah, don't talk about it.
Why not? Beautiful. My sugar pretty. Give me a kiss.
No, because you are talking about yourself and you're supposed to focus on
Okay. All right.
that. Sounds good.
All right. Thank you, baby. My beautiful wife. I love her. So, as I was saying, you can also look on YouTube and research videos that pertain to bone breaks and how they are repaired. And it is very fascinating on how that process occurs. So, as I stated, I'm a third-year medical student. The college that I attend is the International University of Health Sciences School of Medicine. And my goal is to pursue orthopedic surgery. Some people may say, well, you've been out of high school for such a long 20 years, 2 decades. Wow, it's been that long since I've been in high school. The reality just occurred to me. But yes, I've been out of school for over 2 decades. But that's all right, because life is full of learning. Life is what you make it. If you say that I don't want to go any further pursuing education, well, I mean, that's your choice. That's the decision that you make. But always look at education as being an opportunity to expand and grow. And the more you grow, the more you know, the more you should grow. And not only just pull all that growth to yourself, but also be in a position to where you can share it with others. And in this particular field of medicine that I am pursuing, it is my goal to help others get better, to improve their quality of life. And I'm very, very, very passionate about that. So in high school, I always dreamed of becoming a doctor. Not just to achieve the title, but what it all entailed with me always saw myself as being a servant to help others heal. And that is how, and the approach that I'm taking, as a medical student, being a servant of others, helping them to heal and get better. If you don't have passion for people, then this isn't a career for you. You need to choose another career path. And as a Christian, always put God first. And it's my goal to become I am a Christian, so that's going to translate into whenever I graduate as a physician, because you learn as a believer. I learn from the Bible. Jesus had a doctor in his ministry for a purpose, and that physician, his name was Luke in the Bible. And God placed people on this earth that has a purpose, and you need to know what your purpose is. If you're not called to be a doctor, then you're not called to be a doctor. A lot of people out there don't want to be physicians. They don't want to be doctors. They want to be engineers. They want to be teachers. And teachers are outstanding, because without them, there will be no doctors. Academic wise, I really buckled down on my studies, because at some point in time in my career path, I actually flunked. Yeah, you heard it right. I flunked. I failed the 6th grade, and that was a reality check for me. I didn't take my work seriously as a 6th grader. And it wasn't because I wasn't smart. It was because I didn't focus and apply myself like how I should have. So I failed the 6th grade, and that was a life-changing moment for me. I was hearing throughout the 6th grade year from my parents, from my teachers, Leon, you need to do your work. You need to bring in your homework. You need to study. But, my mind wasn't on that. I wanted to hang out with my friends. I wanted to go to the park and shoot basketball. I wanted to do all these things except apply myself. because I thought I was going to pass by default. And a lot of students rely on that. They rely on that waiver, they called it during that time. Don't know quite what they call it today, but it was a waiver. If the student was struggling, they would pass them anyway. All the parent had to do was just come in and just sign a waiver for that student to be promoted to the next grade, even though they struggled and failed that particular grade, which, you know, it was 6th grade for me. But my parent used to tell me, Leon, do your work. I didn't listen. So I remember very distinctly going back to that homeroom class at the end of the day, and that is when report cards were passed out. Everybody, I mean, that class was in an uproar. People were excited, the ones that really did their work, because they knew they passed, but my heart was pounding, I mean pounding away. So the teacher at that particular time, her name was Miss June, and she gave me a lot of outstanding advice during the year for me to buckle down and do what I needed to do, but I did not. She called me up. But prior to calling me up, I saw students go to the front of the class to get their report cards that from Miss June. And they came back to their seats and they had fist pumps and people had their hands all up in the air, you know, just really excited about, you know, passing. Called me up, my heart was beating. I went up there and I got that report card. I went back to my seat, somber, and I opened up that report card and it said, Leon Porter did not meet the requirements necessary to pass to the 7th grade. Leon Porter, repeat 6th grade. Oh, my heart melted. I said, my mom is going to kill me. And I mean, literally kill me. But, you know, she didn't do it because I'm here today talking to you, but that's just, you know, how I felt at that time. But whenever I did get home, my mother, she saw that result and there was complete silence. It was totally different. It really caught me by surprise. There was complete silence. And I really wanted her to say something, but with that silence, it really brought out how deeply I affected her. You know, because, you know, she was really, you know, my cheerleader in getting me to do what I needed to do. But whenever I rebelled and didn't do what I needed to do, such as my schoolwork to pass and be promoted, that really affected her. And it affected me the most because I really had to repeat the 6th grade. And she meant what she said. She said, Leon, if you don't do your work and you fail, you're going to repeat the 6th grade. I took it as a joke, but whenever that day occurred and that next year rolled around, or whenever it was time to go back to school, that is, I repeated every bit of the 6th grade. And I thank my mother for that, because that really sparked a hunger and a desire to reach higher in my education and not settle for failure.
Ain't no way nobody can hold me down. Ain't no way nobody can steal my crown, steal my crown.